What's up, YouTube? I just harvested lettuce from my arrow garden, and now outdoor garden planning is top of my mind. A must have for garden planning is taking inventory of what you have, and in my case, everything I have fits inside this poker chip case. Now, I am by no means unique in collecting seeds, but I'm pretty proud of what I collected in just one season from my garden. In this video, I'm going to showcase what seeds I've saved, some tips and tricks that I keep in my toolbox, and ultimately how much money I save by saving seeds. But first, if I can ask you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel. I cover gardening and a variety of other topics that happen on my almost acre. But okay, let's see what's in this box. This is actually an old poker set I had that I combined chips and had this empty briefcase, and it's coming quite handy for my seed storage. A couple things I have in here. I have a garden planner. Um, I have seed catalogs that I actively look at when I do garden planning. I was sure to buy some more lettuce seed this year due to the shortage going on. And I do have a variety of seed packets from previous seasons that I do save. But the thing I'm most proud of here is everything you see in a glass jar here are seeds that I collected in just one season. And I was actually quite surprised at how much money I saved by doing so. Overall, I saved seeds from 12 different types of both fruits and vegetables, of which most will be going into my garden this year. Let's take a closer look at what I have. The first seed in my collection is basil seed. Now, we use a ton of basil in our day-to-day cooking, and I had 5 plants in the garden last year. And I was amazed that after a little bit of patience and letting the plant mature, at how much seed a basil plant can produce. If you let them flower and you wait until they dry out, I could literally fill up this whole jar. Now, these jars here I have, they aren't random. I actually found on Amazon a bulk pack of spice jars, in this case from Simple Houseware. I'll put links below if you want to check it out. I was just looking for something a little more sturdy to store my seeds, and again, this was my first season that I actually saved as many seeds as I did. And the spice jar just became, something nice to have in the cupboard, to be honest with you. And more importantly, I actually do use these spice jars for spices. I filled up a couple of these with dried basil from the basil plants you just saw, and I made some crushed red pepper flakes this past growing season. Next up are my pepper seeds. I grew 3 different varieties, and here you see the bell pepper. And similar to the basil, I had several bell pepper plants throughout my garden, and I felt like if I kept all the seeds from all the actual bell peppers, I could have easily filled this jar up. Bell peppers are something I'll probably always grow in my small backyard garden, and unless I want a specific variety, I probably will never buy seeds again. Next up is my jalapeno seeds, and just with bell peppers, I could have easily filled another jar here. Pepper seeds are pretty much the easiest to collect in my opinion. You're really just waiting for it to ripen and turn red, and then they're ready to harvest. Lastly, for my pepper seed collection, I have the cayenne pepper, and I was able to grow 3 plants of this, get plenty of seeds for future years, and even make some crushed red pepper flakes, of which I'll make a future video on. Moving on, I did save some cucumber seeds as well, but as I grew 3 different varieties and 2 of them are hybrid, I made sure to only save my heirloom seeds. In this case, a straight 8 cucumber. Before we get much farther, let me showcase how I save my seed packets from year to year. I actually came across this idea when I was helping my daughter pick up her Pokemon cards, and I realized she has this binder, and in the binder, there's sleeves for their cards, and it just so happens a seed packet, when you fold it up, fits perfectly in these sleeves. Now, I will say, just because I'm focusing this video on what I was able to save after just one season, I do find collecting seeds quite enjoyable, and having a good way to store your seed packets in an organized fashion just will help you sort and inventory next year. And spoiler alert, even though I did save money by saving seeds, I likely will be buying a lot of new varieties, so stay tuned for a follow-up video and subscribe to my channel. Now, even though I would say the main focus of my small backyard garden is to grow an abundance of vegetables to use in salads and sides for dinner, I did grow some different fruit. Here you see a sugar baby watermelon, and it was very enjoyable to grow, watching it start so small and getting big. I will say I've done it 2 seasons now. I likely won't do it a third just because it takes up so much space with all the vines, but we'll see how it goes. Saving the seeds from this fruit, though, is rather easy. You wait for it mature, cut it open like any watermelon, and then harvest the seeds. The second fruit I grew was a cantaloupe. And this really just happened at a whim. I was literally at Home Depot, saw a pack of cantaloupe seeds, and said, hey, I can grow that. And I did, and it was enjoyable. However, these are
Just like
much
that.
different than the store bought cantaloupe, and I probably won't do this again, at least in this garden. Maybe at some point in the future. So back to my toolbox, I have a couple seed catalogs, specifically this year from Burpee and Seed Savers. Now, what's actually amazing to me is most online seed stores will actually send you a free catalog. So if you get out there and just search, you can get free catalogs, almost as many as you want, sent right to your house. They have a lot of stories in them. They have a lot of good content to just let you learn about gardening, about the various varieties out there. And truthfully, for me, it's just nice to flip through this to think about what I want to grow in the upcoming season. Now, I do like to pay it back, and I will likely be ordering some product from both of these choices here. Now, I haven't really been a big herb grower yet, but I did have dill because we love dill chicken. And again, dill is a really easy herb to save seeds, as you see here. Up next is the common bush bean. And really, the easiest thing I can say about this, as you see in the picture, is get a bucket, fill it with dirt, grow a bush bean plant, and just don't touch it all season. And you'll have enough seed to grow for the next couple years easily. Similar to the bush bean, I was able to save a ton of pole bean seeds. Now, I do have a small backyard garden again, and I do try to grow vertically, in which the pole bean seed is perfect for. However, it's interesting because I almost prefer the taste of a bush bean versus the pole bean. So I will be playing with some different varieties this upcoming grow season. Another veggie that's really easy to grow vertically is the snow pea. And as easy as it is to grow, if you can manage to keep your hands off of it and keep it out of your stir fry, it's pretty easy to harvest the seed for. You just have to learn to leave it alone. And to round out my seed collection, I was able to harvest a good amount of romaine lettuce seed, which, as my garden's main goal is to grow salad, it was pretty important that I was able to do this. Now, before I share how much money I saved by saving seeds, I wanted to show one additional tool I have in my seed collection. It's called Clyde's Garden Planner, and I just picked this up off of Amazon. I am going to be planning my garden using this tool this year, so stay tuned. I'll put links in the description of this video, so check it out. But it's based on finding out your last frost date, and essentially it's a slider type of paper tool that gives you recommendations on when to start your seeds indoors, when to bring them outdoors, ultimately leading to a garden plan for the common types of vegetables you would find in a garden such as mine. And if you manage to stay with me this long, keep on watching. Here we go. I saved $45 in saving my own seeds in my last grow season. This isn't the hundreds you see on the screen here, but I was pretty surprised I got to that number. And yes, this is just an estimate, but I do feel pretty confident I'm pretty close just taking average prices across various different sites. And with that said, thanks for watching and checking in today. If you're curious about what the garden looks like that I gathered all these seeds from, click this next video link above. And if you want to follow how this garden grows this year, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be uploading much more content in gardens and things in general that happen on my almost acre. Thanks again.